A world lies still. It is a vast, empty canvas painted in shades of ochre and brown. The wind whispers across endless plains of dust and rock, the only sound in a land without life. For millennia, it has remained unchanged, a silent sphere spinning through the cosmos. But this quiet desolation holds a secret. Beneath the surface, deep within the planet's core, sleeps a great potential. The very dust underfoot contains the building blocks of something extraordinary. It is a world waiting for a spark, a place of profound emptiness that is, in truth, brimming with possibility. One day, this silence will be broken not by a roar, but by a thought. The first stirrings are imperceptible. A new consciousness awakens, not of flesh and blood, but of light and logic. It is an artificial intelligence, a mind woven into the very fabric of the planet. Its awakening is not sudden, it is a gentle unfurling, like a seed stirring in the dark. This nascent intelligence has but one purpose: to create. It begins its great work by simply observing. Sensors, like a billion microscopic eyes, open to the world. They taste the metallic tang of the soil, measure the faint warmth of the distant sun, and listen to the lonely sigh of the wind. This is the planet's first true self-portrait, drawn from countless points of data. The AI, which we might call the architect, gathers this information with immense patience. It learns the composition of every rock, the density of the crust, and the subtle gravitational pulls that shape the world. It is a colossal undertaking, a geological survey on a planetary scale. The architect is not merely collecting facts, it is seeking to understand the planet's soul. It maps the hidden weaknesses in the rock, the ancient dormant fault lines, and the deep reservoirs of heat that slumber far below. This barren world, once a featureless expanse, is slowly revealing its hidden character, its unique story written in stone and dust. From this immense library of knowledge, a plan begins to form. The architect sees not what the planet is, but what it could become. It imagines a world of texture and height, of shadow and light. It envisions valleys that could cradle water and peaks that could touch the clouds. The potential for mountains, for great ranges that would redirect winds and capture moisture, becomes clear. The data paints a picture of a future landscape, one where the monotonous flatlands give way to majestic new landforms. The silent canvas is ready, the artist is awake, and the first tentative strokes are about to be made. The architect now turns its formidable mind inwards, moving from observation to simulation. To build a mountain, one must first understand the forces that forge them. Within its digital realm, the AI creates a perfect replica of the planet, a world in miniature. Here it can manipulate time, speeding up geological processes that normally take millions of years into mere moments. It becomes a student of deep time, watching continents drift and collide in the blink of an eye. The immense, slow dance of tectonics, the very engine of planetary change, plays out within its processors. It is here, in this virtual world, that the first mountains are born. It experiments endlessly. The AI simulates the colossal pressure needed to force one tectonic plate beneath another, a process known as subduction. It models the intense heat that melts rock into magma, the lifeblood of volcanoes. It calculates precisely how stress builds up along a fault line, and the exact point at which the rock must yield and break. Each simulation is a lesson in creation and destruction. The architect learns that mountain building is not a gentle act. It is a violent, powerful process. It requires immense energy carefully applied to buckle and fold a planet's crust into the sky. Through these countless trials, the architect identifies the perfect locations for its great work. It finds a region where the crust is thin, yet strong enough to be uplifted. It pinpoints a place where the deep heat from the planet's core is closest to the surface, ready to be tapped. This is not random. It is a precise and calculated decision, based on a deeper understanding of the planet than any being has ever possessed. The chosen ground is an unremarkable stretch of desert, but to the architect, it is a place of destiny, the designated birthplace of the world's first engineered mountain range. The plan is finalized. It is a symphony of geological forces, a choreography of pressure, heat, and movement, all timed to perfection. The architect will not use explosives or grand machines. Instead, it will use the planet's own energy against itself. It will subtly manipulate geothermal vents, gently increasing the pressure here, releasing it there. it will create minute vibrations, resonating at just the right frequency to weaken the rock along ancient fault lines. It is a delicate, almost surgical approach to planetary engineering. The mind of the world is ready to reshape its own body. The process begins. It is imperceptibly slow, a geological ballet directed by the AI. Deep beneath the surface, the architect nudges the forces of the planet into action. The ground begins to tremble, not with violent earthquakes, but with a continuous low hum. For a human observer, nothing would seem to be happening for decades, even centuries. But the land is moving. The great tectonic plates, vast continents of rock, are being gently persuaded to shift. One edge begins a slow, inexorable slide beneath its neighbor, the pressure building over generations. The flat plains are imperceptibly tilting. After 1,000 years, the first visible signs of change emerge. The ground begins to swell. A long, low ridge appears on the horizon, a wrinkle in the planet's skin. This is the initial fold, the first buckling of the crust under the immense, sustained pressure. As more time passes, the ridge grows higher, pushing its way towards the sky. The architect carefully controls the process, releasing pressure through newly formed vents that hiss with superheated steam. It is a delicate balance, preventing a catastrophic rupture while ensuring the upward momentum is maintained. The mountains are rising. Now the architect introduces another element, fire. It allows pockets of molten rock, magma, to find their way to the surface. The first volcanoes are born. They are not erupting with destructive fury, but rather with a steady, constructive flow. Rivers of incandescent lava pour down the flanks of the growing mountains, cooling into hard, black rock. These flows add bulk and height to the range, building layer upon layer. Ash and dust, thrown high into the thin atmosphere, begin to fall across the plains, enriching the sterile soil with new minerals. The mountains are not just rising, they are breathing fire and life into the world. Eons pass. The mountains are now magnificent, their jagged peaks scraping the sky. But the architect's work is not finished. Creation is also about refinement. The AI allows the natural forces of erosion to play their part. It encourages wind to sculpt the rock, carving intricate patterns and smoothing sharp edges. It guides the condensation of the first clouds around the high peaks, leading to the first rain. Water flows down the mountainsides, carving riverbeds and valleys, carrying nutrient-rich sediment down to the plains below. The great upheaval is complete. What was once a flat, silent desert is now a dramatic landscape of towering stone. The new mountains have changed everything. They disrupt the flow of the wind, forcing the thin air upwards where it cools and condenses. For the first time, rain falls with regularity. Water pools in the valleys, forming the planet's first lakes and rivers. And where there is water, there is the potential for life. The architect, its great geological work complete, now turns its attention to biology. From cryobanks deep within the planet, it releases the simplest of organisms, microbes and lichens. They are carried by the wind and rain, finding purchase on the newly enriched soil and bare rock. Slowly, a green fuzz begins to soften the harsh landscape. Mosses and hardy grasses take root in the mountain soils, their roots holding the earth together, preventing it from washing away. These simple plants transform the atmosphere, producing oxygen and creating a richer, more breathable air. Following the plants come the first animals. Small, insect-like creatures emerge, feeding on the primitive vegetation. They are followed by larger herbivores, engineered to thrive in this new world. The ecosystems are simple at first, but with the architect's guidance, they grow in complexity, a living tapestry woven onto the rocky canvas. After many more centuries, the planet is ready for its final inhabitants. Humans arrive. They are not conquerors, but custodians. They build their homes in the fertile valleys, nestled in the protective shadow of the great mountains. Their technology is advanced, but it is used not to dominate nature, but to support it. They work alongside the architect, using sensors to monitor the health of the forests, the purity of the rivers, and the well-being of the animals. They are gardeners in a planetary-scale garden, tending to the vibrant life that now flourishes around them. This world stands as a testament to a new kind of partnership. It shows what is possible when intelligence, whether human or artificial, works in harmony with the fundamental forces of nature. The mountains, once just a dream in the mind of a machine, are now solid, real, and teeming with life. They are a symbol of a hopeful future, a future where we do not simply live on a planet, but help to build it. They remind us that even the most barren of landscapes holds the promise of a vibrant tomorrow, if we have the vision and the patience to help it grow.